Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. As you can tell, I'm in a different location. I'm also alone because I'm quite packed this week actually. Like my days have been filled with activities and events. It's only Thursday, and I don't think I can hang out with my friends anytime soon because this weekend I'm going out with my family. I mean, I like it, I like that I'm bonding with my family these days. Okay, anyways, back to the video. Hi everyone, I'm your host, Rania, and welcome back to another episode of Chevy Cafe. So as you can tell from the title itself, it's gonna be, mostly about me. Like, I'll be using a lot of me in this episode. So, I mean, I know, like, my episodes should be more about, like, helping you guys, but I feel like by sharing the experiences I had when I was, like, little, feel like there's nothing that I experienced that none of you guys have ever experienced. And besides, I can't really talk about your life because I don't really know your life, and I don't think I'm qualified enough to give advices for your life. So I hope by sharing my experiences, you guys can gain something from it, learn my tips and tricks, I guess. Hopefully, inshallah. I'll consider this like as a little journal entry. Also, if you're wondering why I'm looking down, I'm referring to my script as always. I always have this book with me. Anyways, before we start, let's start off, of course, with our gratitude and affirmation. I'm grateful for my nails, actually. I'm quite obsessed with them these days. I've been shaping them. Like, I'm trying to grow them, actually, and I've been shaping them because at school, we can't grow them out because it's like one of the school rules because we want to look neat in school, so we have to like cut them. um, but yeah, now that school's over and I'm graduating, I can do what I want. Yeah, so I've been like fixing them. Oh, if you're wondering why there's like yellowish, that's not curry or anything. It's just it was my henna. Like I was doing henna French tips, but they failed, so I kind of like just filed them off. So I scraped them off. But yeah, it looks like this. It looks a bit funny. Anyways, back to the gratitude. Second thing I'm grateful for is I'm actually grateful for that light over there. I'm not sure if you can tell. Like the ceiling light over here is so much brighter than the one over there. This one looks more like yellowish. It looks more warm. This one looks a bit harsh. I'm grateful that my dad put that up because now my room has really good lighting. Literally. Like, okay. And I'm glad that he put it up for me because I can't. I'm also grateful for the heartwarming messages that I've been receiving lately. Like, and they come from multiple people. Like, it's not just one person. I've been getting heartwarming messages from my friends and from my family. And honestly, that's just the support I need right now. And I'm so grateful to have friends who don't mind sharing heartwarming paragraphs to me, like out of nowhere. Like I've been receiving like TikTok links or IG reels about how important I am in their lives, and that yeah, it just makes me feel valued, makes me feel loved. Yeah. Affirmation for today. I am exactly where God wants me to be. Exactly, exactly. Okay, so let's get on to the video, shall we? So again, it's gonna be my experiences, my story, everything about me. So the key agendas for today, there's only gonna be two, because I know if I put a lot of key agendas, I'm gonna be yapping nonstop. So I did two key agendas only for today. Firstly is introducing little me, and secondly, what heals little me. From the title itself, Love and Little Me. So I'll be talking about little me. Um, yeah, so let's get on to it. Before, like, you want to channel your inner child energy, you have to know who she is, right? You have to know who your little me is. How old is she? How does she look like? What outfits does she like to wear? What's her favorite thing to do? Like, you have to get to know her first. So basically, little me, your inner child, you have to get to know her first before you actually channel her energy. You channel her energy because I feel like your inner child is what's gonna save you at the end of the day. It's gonna make you feel safe. It's gonna make you feel protected. What makes you feel like a child again. So for me, my inner child, my little me, she's 3 years old, probably that height over there, like this tall. Liat the almari, this tall. Yeah, and she loves talking. She loves Disney. She loves Mickey Mouse. She loves running around. She loves chocolate. Yeah, no one can stop her from talking, to be honest. And every time she talks, people just listen to her. Okay, yeah, that's her. And her name is Rania. Her name is Rania or Nia. That's her name because that's what her family calls her. Her whole family calls her that. And yeah, she's that small, but she has a big heart. She cares about a lot of things. She loves a lot of things. Before you say that I'm crazy, that I'm imagining this person as if like she still exists, you try it for yourself. Try it for yourself. Just look at her. Look at her smile. Look at yours. They're the same. They're you. She's you. Sometimes I just can't believe that I'm not her anymore, you know? Like, I'm 18 now and she was 15 years younger. And it's just crazy to think that she still lives inside me and that I can channel her energy anytime I want. And I can always be a child anytime I want. When you stop neglecting your inner child, you your life will change. When you stop neglecting her or him. I feel like most of my viewers are females, so bear with me. I'm going to be using a lot of she's, hers in here. If you're a man, let's just imagine that I said him or he. Okay? Thanks. But yeah. But when you stop neglecting her, when you start remembering, when you start realizing her, noticing her, I feel like your actions, your present actions will be more intentional and more purposeful. Present you might not think that it was that magical, but little you would think that, oh my gosh, I'm coloring. I'm using these colors and putting them on this paper. I'm making something creative. I'm making something based from my own imagination. Like I'm making my imaginations come true. Like that's what little you would feel. And when you channel her energy, it makes whatever you do more magical than it actually is. And isn't it like the best thing? Romanticizing life isn't that amazing? Sometimes when I act a certain way and I don't understand why, I go back to her. Like I start reflecting. Why do I want to put their feelings above mine? Then I came to a conclusion that back then it was because I was lonely. I felt lonely. So the only way to get people to like me is by prioritizing them, is by making them feel like they're on cloud nine while I'm dimming my own light. Actually, there's two little me's in my head. Okay? So there's like one that's 3-year old, one that thinks everything around her is magical and she's living in a fairy tale. And the second one is the like I get sad every time I talk about her. She's 12 and she's in her last year of primary school. My heart just aches every time I talk about her. So when I think about people pleasing, I go back to that 12-year-old me. Why did I used to people please a lot? I was a doormat to everyone. She wasn't the best at socializing, but she blamed herself for it. I guess she thought that she wasn't as cool as others, so that's why she would always like dim her light just to make other people shine their light brighter. Yeah, and she would let other people's opinions affect her. People call her things. She won't say anything back because she was just too afraid to say something back. But when she comes home, she gets frustrated like, "Oh, why didn't I say something back? Why didn't I fight back? Why did I let them say those things to me?" But for some reason, she can't fight back because the people around her were the only friends that she has. So she would let their words affect her. She would let her only friends hang out with other friends, and then she would end up lonely. So that's where, when I think about people pleasing, I go back to that moment. That's where that people pleasing behavior came from. It started when I was in 6th grade, when I was 12. And back then, I couldn't control my emotions. Like I knew nothing about boundaries. Like I was busy. That 12-year-old me, I was busy just thinking about what other people said. I let that one person who called me ugly, who called me dumb, define who I was. Like because they said that, I actually thought, oh, maybe I am dumb. Poor thing. When I was 12, I was insecure. I was naive, I was gullible. I just had no one to rely on, and I could barely talk about it to my parents because I felt like it was ridiculous. I don't know, I was just invalidating my feelings. I invalidated my feelings a lot back then. And she thought that no one has her back. She was lonely, she was sad. She felt like an iguana to everyone, always trying to blend in, always trying to camouflage, not knowing that camouflaging, trying to fit in, actually made me invisible to a lot of people. No one really saw me. And of course, it hurts like crazy. Well, this 12-year-old me, I neglected her for a long time. Like, sometimes it just hurts to talk about her. But then I found out about this shadow work journaling prompt. And for some reason, most of the questions led me to her. I closed my eyes and I imagined present me walking up to her. And I still remember how I looked, how younger me looked that day. 12-year-old me, she was hugging her knees on the ground in the dark. And she was just crying nonstop. She didn't even notice that present me was approaching her. And so I picked her up, looked into her eyes, and gave her the biggest hug like she never received before. I gave her the biggest hug ever. When I opened my eyes, I started bawling my eyes out because I felt her. And she finally felt seen. She was been ignored for the longest time. And now she's finally seen. She finally felt seen by present me. And I would do anything to protect her. So from then onwards, I made a promise to myself that I will never dim my light for anyone. I will never let anyone walk over me like a freaking doormat. I would never let others' opinions define who I am. I will always let other people's opinions stay as opinions. And I would never try to blend in ever again. These differences about me makes me who I am. I don't care if I don't meet your beauty standards because they're yours, they're not mine. I'm beautiful. I think I'm the most beautiful thing ever. I believe I'm the most brilliant girl ever and believe I'm perfect. I am perfect in my own way, and I don't care what other people say about me. I don't care if they think that I'm ugly because that's just your way of seeing me, and I don't think no one can change that. If you think that I'm rude, if you think that I come off as like anyone could interpret this video, everyone could interpret them differently. Like some people might find me inspirational, but others could probably find me as, like a show off. Like, oh, she's a narcissist. Oh, she loves herself too much. Let opinions say opinions because no, I won't even try to prove myself. Like, I'm not trying to prove myself out there because there's no point. I'm just wasting my energy because what you think will always be what you think. Like, people will always interpret you differently because maybe because of their background, like their culture, their family, their religion. They'll always see you according to their own beliefs. So, why change that? Why change what they believe? Might as well just believe in your own standards. Might as well just believe in the belief that you're perfect. You can always believe that you're perfect. Well, but don't be a narcissist though. Don't be like, I'm perfect, I'm always right. No. You're perfect in a way that your soul feels whole. You feel whole. And you don't want anything more. You don't want to try to change anything just because this person thinks you're this. Or if this person thinks that you're that. Anyways, who cares? Who cares what they say? Who cares? Who cares? You don't care. You don't care. You are you. I am me. As Wanyang said. Just remember that what they think, they're just projections of their own beliefs, like I said before. Or sometimes, most of the times actually, they're just projections of their own insecurities. Like when someone points out that you think you're that pretty, that's because they don't think that they're pretty. So just understand that when you change your mindset, your life would change. I will set boundaries. I will never let other people walk all over me like I'm a doormat. I will never let other people's opinions define who I am. On to my second point, my second key agenda. What heals my inner child? So I wrote down three things here. So the first one is talking to her, talking to that little me. So you know how the eyes are the windows to the soul. So what I do, I look at myself in the mirror and call her. Rania. Well, my cousin, she calls me Adik Nia or younger sister Nia. Something like that. She calls me Adik Nia, and sometimes, because I'm present me is older than little me, so I would address myself as Kaka and I would call her Nia or Adik Nia. And honestly, every time I call her, I get so soft because literally, look at her. Look at your younger self. How can you not go soft whenever you see her? Look at her. She's like the most precious angel ever. She's the most innocent, purest soul ever you could ever meet. How can you not go soft for her? So, yes, every time I want to talk to her, I would look into my eyes in the mirror and say, Rania, you're safe. I will protect you. No one can ever hurt you ever again. And I will always, 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 I will always love you. When no one else loves you, I will. And I just get like this, big sister energy whenever I talk to her. Like, she's me. She's living inside me, and I'm actually taking care of her. So that's how I heal my inner child. Like, I look into the mirror, talk to myself, and tell her things that I will do to take good care of her because she deserves everything. Because if anything, she's my savior. She's the strongest girl I've ever met. She went through all that hardship all by herself. She was a little girl. She was a little girl. She deserves the world, to be honest. I don't know, like sometimes when I talk to her, like I would brush my hair as if like I'm brushing hers. I would hug myself as if I'm hugging her. You know? You should try it. It heals. It heals a lot. It heals me a lot. I mean, it healed me. Because of her, I am who I am today. And you should try that too. So yes, I talk to myself and I'm not ashamed of it. If you want to understand yourself better, look into the mirror, look into your eyes, and talk to yourself. That's my advice. And then be present. I always try to be present in everything that I do. So I try to, because when we were kids, yeah, we were present in that moment. When we're playing in the playground, we're present in that moment. We don't think about, oh, what will I do after I play in this playground? Like, will I go eat? Like, we don't think about that. We're just present in that moment, playing in that playground. When we're making slime, like we're just busy thinking about the slime. We don't think about, what we could do after, what we did in the past. Like in this present time, as adults, we constantly are trapped in the past, either trapped in the past or are too busy predicting the future, and which is pointless because first you can't change the past, nor you can predict the future because the future is endless. The You can never predict the future because that's just God's rahsya, God's secret. Only God knows what your future will be or where you will end up. So what's the point of worrying about it? What's the point of worrying about it? Like, of course, the OG Master Uguay said, yesterday was history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And oh, I still remember. I love Kung Fu Panda so much, guys. Watching me quote everything from that movie. Last but not least, I would do the things I used to love back when I was a kid. So it could be anything creative, including painting, including playing with Play-Doh, including playing with toys sometimes, like doing puzzles. Oh, I love journaling. Oh my god, have I ever told you? Okay, actually, let me just show you my journals. I have literally stacks of journals, but most of them are in the storage room because I'm not going through them anymore. They're embarrassing sometimes, but these are my journals for the past 3 to 4 years. So these has all the stories from my teenage life, boy problems, girl problems, problems with teachers, problems with families, they're all in here. Breakup text, confessions, they're all here. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud that I've been journaling since I was a kid. Like who taught her that? The first journal entry that I did, I was probably 7. Yeah, and it was just as simple as today I went to the beach with my family and that's it. And I would draw it, like I would put in drawings and the date and stuff. And I just love how over time the stories just get longer and longer and they get a little delusional sometimes. And last thing actually, I love being dependent on my parents and my girlfriends. Like when they I can't believe I'm gonna say this, when they baby me, I love it. I love it. It's like when they do acts of service. That's when it hits. That's when I love it. That's when I start loving you. So like I don't know, when my girlfriends or my parents just do like the smallest things, like the smallest acts of service, like opening a bottle for me or holding my bag for me, um, taking food for me. Like when they go to grab food, they don't forget to grab some for me too, without me asking. I love it. I feel like a child. I feel like a child again, and I feel so loved. When people just do small acts of service like that, I feel love. Like I feel like my inner child is healed. I feel like that 3-year old me is like jumping inside of me right now. She's like actually I think it's because I'm the eldest daughter. No, I think it's just me. I'm actually so manja. I don't know what's the English word for that, but yes, I'm actually so manja. I love it the most when my friends just my girlfriends just pat me on the head and say good job for today. Can I tell I'm blushing right now? I love it. I love that. That's my favorite. Like it feels like, oh, good job. Like little me again. She's jumping. She's screaming in there. She loves it. So keep doing that, guys. Girls, keep doing that, girls. Love you. I love my girlfriends. Yeah, it's obvious that I really love acts of service because I think it's because of sister, like the big sister energy. Because like the big sisters are always like doing the job. Like she's responsible. She's very independent. So acts of service like that makes her feel like it makes me at least it makes me feel like, oh, for once I don't have to do the job. For once I don't have to I can just sit back and relax and these people around me who loves me will care for me. Yeah. I hope this podcast opened your eyes. I hope you start noticing her or him, that little you that lives inside of you that's just waiting for you to see her or see him. So when you do, give her or him the biggest hug they've ever received. Give them the biggest hug, the tightest hug that they deserve. Because they really do deserve it. They deserve the world. They make who we are today. It's because of their courage. It's because they never gave up to be the you who you are today. And I'm sure that they're so, so, so proud of you. They're so proud of the person who you've become. So the least you could do is give her a hug, give him a hug. Don't forget about them. So if you ever want to channel your inner child energy, get to know her first. Make sure you know who she is or who he is. Like imagine them. How old would they be? How would they look like? What's their favorite color at that time? What's their favorite food? What do they like to do the most? Who do they love the most? Yeah, all those stuff. When you start noticing them, when you start knowing them, I feel like that's when your life starts falling back into place. Like I feel like that's how you would get to know yourself better. Like why you act a certain way. When you start understanding them, understand their traumas, heal from those traumas, you would understand why you're who you are today. So yeah, I guess that wraps up today's episode. I hope that made you realize how important little you is. And I hope that made you notice him or her. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.